Hey everyone, hopefully you're having a good day. My name's Andy. My channel is Finding Value. Today we're going to do our daily technical analysis update of commodities, work our way through the dollar, yields, precious metals, and commodities ETFs that I follow. I'll interject my financial opinions as we go through it. And if you need help with anything, check out finding-value.com. That's where I dive deeper into all these sectors and topics, looking for potential investment opportunities. There are a lot of opportunities right now that are down and are what I think are good potential investments. So I've got the midweek update coming up tomorrow. You can see what those opportunities are and my thoughts and opinions around all of them. And you can gain access with that May Day coupon code, give you a little bit more of a discount, MAYDAY, for a monthly or yearly membership. I am doing and recording this video at 2 hours before market close. I've got a conflict at that exact time that I normally do it. So this is going to be a little bit earlier than market close, just an FYI. Let's dive in. Let's take a look and see what's going on with the markets here. DXY continuing to fall down and getting a little bit of selling pressure follow through today. So we could see the dollar start to roll over here. It was at a critical juncture where we were coming up to this support level that we broke out earlier, and then I said that we could potentially roll over. And we are getting that rollover, and we'll see if we can stick this momentum to continue lower. Now, that usually is followed with a decline in yields, but that is not what we're seeing. We are seeing a weaker dollar at this time with yields remaining elevated or strong. The 2 years up 1.15, and that still looks good to go higher at this time, and we do not see a reversal candlestick yet. But one very well could pop up at any time. Maybe the dollar is kind of front running that move. The 10-year is up a little bit today. We're at a resistance area. The resistance is the trend line going across here. And we've got resistance also of this guy coming up. So we're at that cross section of resistance, and we very well could roll over at any second here. And then we've got the 30-year. We are up. We are above a lot of support here. Go to the weekly there. We're above a lot of support, and we'll see if this rolls over too, but your support's coming across from both of these areas there. I'll extend this one out a little bit. So right at the cross section or juncture of support for the 30. That still looks bullish at this time, still above support. TYX TNX ratio, we are continuing to invert the curve. Down, 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 continuation pattern down. And that has not clearly bottomed yet. But we're at a very low level. And generally, when this goes up, that's rocket fuel for precious metals. Bond prices are flat on the 20-year. So we've been moving sideways. We'll see what direction we get here. We can also throw a downtrend on here, and we're close. We're somewhere in that general area of a potential downtrend line break where we move higher and yields start to drop. So that is a possibility. The 2 and 10, as weird as this is, guys, we are inverting the curve. Curve is continuing to invert here. We've broken the downtrend line, and it looks like it wants to go and invert again. That is definitely a surprising move there. And a lot of people were banking on the yield curve uninverting, coming on down, but it's still inverting. We've got gold up a little bit. It has been tracking sideways the past 3 trading sessions. This is still a bearish formation in the short term. We'll see if there's any follow through with it. Silver's up a little bit, but again, we've got these big selling pressure type moves, and it's a stair step lower at this time, and it still looks like that is intact. But we're above a lot of support in silver, and it still looks very bullish from a little bit longer time frame. Platinum up 1.5%, nice big bullish engulfing. Is this the low that we're going to get here? It could be. It could be. It looks very good to try to work its way on up here. And then palladium's right at support. We've contracted the candlestick down. Momentum is still to the downside, but we're at support. We'll see if that support holds. It's the support line going across there that we are at. So we very well could see some sort of reversal candlestick perhaps show up in the next couple of trading sessions. The GDX is up, we're at support. GDXJ is flat, and SILJ is just slightly up. It looks like we're above support on all of them. It looks like it's trying to turn around and work its way on up. And obviously, I think it needs stronger metals pricing for that to do that. XAU to gold ratio, we are flat today, up 0.22%. And it looks like it's trying to turn around. We're at a very low level. Everything still looks good here. We're still broken out. We've got a long runway of appreciation of the miners against gold to move higher. Crude oil has been bouncing around a little bit. We're at resistance. This sideways resistance area is where we're at. We were up in the morning, but we're starting to fall back to basically flat right on that resistance line. And hopefully we can break through this and get moving to the upside. We are undervalued with the dot plot of inventory levels. Fair values in the 80s, mid 80s, 83 to 85, somewhere in there. TTF gas, we are up just slightly. The momentum is still to the upside and everything still looks good. And we've got the stair-step pattern that we've got going on there. Natural gas is down 4% in America. We're up against this resistance area, that line there. And we have not broken through. We're right up against resistance. Still looks okay though. Big bullish engulfing yesterday with a smaller red candlestick. It's a big bloody nose is what I'll call it, right at resistance. Boy, XOP, yeah, you know me, up 0.7%. We are trying to get above this resistance line here. And we are just slightly above it. And we'll see if we can hold up above that. A lot of the times what happens is you break out, you do a retest, and then you start to work your way on up. So if we have a downward move, which is very possible, it would be most likely a retest potentially. OIH also moving higher, and that's broken its downtrend. We'll see if we can get some momentum generated to the upside. Newcastle coal futures down just a little bit, 0.7%. We still look good. We've got lower or higher lows coming up, and we might create another higher low somewhere in that spot there. It's supposed to be a question mark. And everything still looks good to work and break its way to the upside. Crown Physical Uranium Trust moving sideways. We are slowing down, maybe slowing down. The momentum's still to the downside. We have a small candlestick today. We'll see if we can try to base out here or something like that, or maybe the selling pressure continues. Uranium futures pricing continuing a little bit lower. It is coming on back, and it's possible that we break through this support region and pull back further. We've got monster support down here at about 64 bucks, somewhere there, high 63s, low 64s. So that's kind of what I'm seeing there in uranium futures pricing. URA moving sideways, just tracking sideways. We are coming back real small and controlled, and we're at support. We've got URNM also getting a little bit of selling pressure. We've got some support at this level here that goes across. And then URNJ also getting a little bit of selling pressure. We've got support again at this level there. So we'll see if we use that support area. Copper continuing higher, up about 0.8% or so. Looks good to make its way on higher. Also, you can look at this, and there is that fractal, very similar to gold, coming here, that kind of fractal there that generally makes its way on up. Some people call it head and shoulders. It's not really head and shoulders, but COPX up 2.13%. That seeing some positioning here in the copper ETF. That looks good to run. It looks good to run, and so does copper itself, the metal. That looks good to move its way on up. Iron ore, it moved up the past couple of days here, and we've got a small little down day. That looks good to work its way on up. I think I think iron ore looks fantastic here. This is such a good entry point for some of those companies. We've got aluminum. Aluminum is starting to try to break through, well, it's trying to break through this resistance area. We've been sitting and hitting this resistance for a while here. You come back down, so we came back down, and then we are strengthening because our lows are coming up, and we'll see if we can break through here at some point. There are some explosive setups in aluminum that could really drive this higher in some of the companies that I'm looking at. Nickel up 0.56%. Looks like it's trying to put in hopefully a little bottom here where we come on up and put that double bottom in. Move down just slightly. But again, this looks really good. We're getting support right where we need it. There's support all underneath us. I think eventually this is going to work its way on up in a big way. In a big way. Like another leg higher is what I'm talking about. We've got emerging markets up, even though we've got weaker dollar, stronger yields. Emerging markets look good here. They look good to try to work their way on up. We've got KRE right underneath resistance. We've got TAN up a little bit. We have weaker dollar and stronger yields today. Kind of a weird setup. Lithium's up 2.3, and this is trying to break the downtrend here. We could get a nice move out of lithium. Right at support, your entry point, if you were aggressive, was here. And you've got good entry points even where we're at. I think it's still cheap, very good entry points. REMX is doing the same thing, which is confluence too, which is good. And we got the downtrend line, and we're starting to break that downtrend line. It looks really good down here. I would be entering in this area. Baltic Dry Index down 0.3%. I think this is going to end up turning around if iron ore starts moving up and coal starts moving up. I think dry bulk's going to follow. We've got XHB up 1.7%. It's working its way back up to that resistance area. And I'm surprised because we've got yields that are up. They're not up a lot. They're only up 0.75% on the 10-year. So that's up a little bit. But that's been strengthening today. Russell 2000's been moving on up, and that's above support. Maybe it's pricing in a victory by whoever and more easing, perhaps, quantitative easing. We're up in the S&P 500. The plunge protection team's doing its job. Same with the NASDAQ is up. NASDAQ looks real weak. But it's up today. We'll see if there's follow through. SMCI is up 3.5% or so. We've got NVIDIA up 2.6%. It's holding on to that trend line. It's looking okay. We've got Bitcoin up 4.32%. That looks really good. We're sitting on top of support. We've broken out. We've done the retest. So the breakout is here. Here's another retest there. Two of them. This could be a launching pad for a move higher in Bitcoin. Ethereum's also up 2.19% right at support. It doesn't look nearly as strong as Bitcoin. This one looks a little bit weaker. And maybe it will follow Bitcoin. And surprisingly, the VIX, what's with the VIX here, guys? The VIX was ready to, so we broke out on the VIX. Nice little breakout, kind of coming back. Is this a retest where it's going to move on up, or is this coming back within the pattern and heading lower? I don't know. But it's down today, and it's back within the pattern, and we'll see what happens tomorrow with the volatility S&P 500 index. Usually when this index goes on breaks to the upside, that's when we see a pullback in the S&P 500, the NASDAQ, and some of these things. It almost always correlates, but right now it's back within the pattern. I don't know if this is like a slingshot where it moves on up. We'll find out over time here. But that's what I've got for today, guys. Give me a thumb up for the content. Subscribe to the channel. Subscribe to the website. Again, we got that May Day coupon code that's active if you'd like to join. I will be releasing a midweek update for tomorrow. And that's where you can see my insights on what I'm looking at, what I'm doing with my portfolio, why I'm doing it. I'll go through all that in the companies that I think are good opportunities. But that's what I've got for today, guys. So we'll catch you next time. This is Finding Value.